You know that feeling when you look up at the night sky, that sense of being part of something huge, something incredible? Well, what if that was all just gone? What if we were completely cut off? That's exactly what we're digging into today. We're calling it the galactic exile. So let's just jump right in with the big, crazy question. What if Earth got kicked out of the Milky Way? I mean, literally punted out into that enormous empty void between galaxies. What would even happen? Okay, but let's be super clear about something right up front. This isn't something Earth could just do. We can't just pack our bags and leave the galaxy. See, we're locked in by the sun's gravity, and the sun is locked in by the galaxy's gravity. To break those chains, it would take something unbelievably violent, an event of cosmic proportions. So, what kind of cosmic push are we even talking about here? Let's break down the kinds of forces powerful enough to actually eject our planet from its home. All right, so it really boils down to three main ways this could happen. First, getting flung out by the giant black hole in the center of our galaxy. Second, getting thrown out during a massive crash between galaxies. And third, a random, unlucky encounter with a wandering black hole. So let's talk about scenario one, the galactic black hole. Deep in the heart of the Milky Way, we have this absolute monster called Sagittarius A star. It is millions of times heavier than our sun. Now, if our solar system were to get a little too close, its immense gravity could grab us and just fling us out into deep space. It's like a cosmic slingshot. And get this isn't just some wild theory. Astronomers have actually seen this happen to entire stars. So, yeah, it's a real thing. Now for scenario two, and this one is actually considered the most likely way this could happen. Billions of years from now, our Milky Way is on a collision course with our neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. And when these two titans crash, it's going to be pure gravitational chaos. Stars and planets will be scattered everywhere like a cosmic game of pool. And yeah, Earth could easily be one of those balls knocked right off the table, kicked out into empty space. And finally, we have the third possibility. It's the rarest, but honestly, it might be the most terrifying. Imagine this, a wandering black hole, just drifting silently through space. If one of these happened to pass by our solar system, its gravity is so powerful it could literally steal Earth away from the sun and just drag our planet with it, right out of the galaxy for good. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second that one of these things actually happens. Bam! Earth is now a cosmic exile. What's the very first thing we would notice? Well, our entire view of the night sky would change, and it would change forever. And the difference is just staggering. Look at this. Right now, we have that beautiful, bright streak of the Milky Way. But in this exile scenario, that's gone. It's replaced by almost nothing, just blackness. Our entire galaxy, our home, would shrink behind us until it was just a small, glowing smudge that gets fainter and fainter. The only other lights would be these tiny, tiny dots from galaxies that are incredibly far away. Our sky would feel so lonely. But a different view is really just the beginning of our problems. Earth's entire future, its very survival, comes down to one single critical question. When we got kicked out, did we take the sun with us? Because the answer to that question sends us down two completely different paths. On the one hand, you have the best-case scenario, where the entire solar system gets ejected as one unit and we're still orbiting our sun. Then you have the worst case. Earth gets torn away from the sun, left to wander the darkness all by itself. One path is a desperate fight to survive. The other is pretty much a death sentence. All right, let's look at the so-called best case first. We get to keep our sun. Phew. That means we still have warmth, we still have light, we have our days and our seasons. Life can continue for a bit. But being out here in the middle of nowhere brings a whole new set of problems we've never had to deal with before. And these are serious long-term dangers. For starters, the Milky Way has this sort of magnetic shield that protects us from a lot of nasty cosmic radiation. Out in the void, that shield is gone, so we'd be blasted with way more radiation, which means more DNA damage, higher cancer risks, not good. On top of that, over millions of years, our climate would get more and more unstable. Think more extreme weather and ice ages that are way, way worse than anything we've ever seen. And of course, we'd be totally, completely alone. So yeah, even the best case is pretty grim, but the worst case, that's a whole other level. This is a true, honest-to-goodness apocalypse.
This is what happens if Earth loses the sun and becomes a rogue planet wandering the dark all on its own. And the end would come so fast. In just 1 week without the sun, temperatures would absolutely plummet. Photosynthesis would just stop, and most plants would start to die. Give it a year, and the surfaces of our oceans would begin to freeze solid. And after about 1,000 years, Earth would be nothing but a frozen ball of ice. A dead world, just drifting silently through that endless night. On this frozen, dead Earth, the only life that could possibly survive would be tiny microbes, hiding deep underground near volcanic vents, feeding off the last little bit of the planet's internal heat. Everything on the surface, completely gone.
Okay, this is all a massive planetary catastrophe for sure, but let's bring it back home. What about us? What about humanity? Could we somehow survive any of this?
Well, in the short term, it's a maybe. We'd have to do something drastic, like build massive cities deep underground. We'd need to rely on nuclear and geothermal power and figure out how to grow all our food with artificial light. It would be a constant, desperate struggle. But long term, our chances are not good. They're pretty close to zero, actually. You've got dwindling power sources, that constant radiation, and just imagine the psychological impact of living in total, permanent darkness. Eventually, it would probably lead to our extinction. You know, this whole scenario probably sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Something totally far-fetched. But here's the final, chilling twist in this whole story. It's not just a story. Right now, scientists believe there are billions, and yes, that's billions with a B, of these rogue planets drifting alone in the dark, right here in our own galaxy. Think about that. So many of these lonely planets were probably kicked out of their solar systems, exactly like we've been talking about. And some of them might have been a lot like Earth. They might have even had life before they were thrown out into the cold and the dark. So this crazy hypothetical journey we've been on, for countless other worlds out there, it's their reality. And that really brings us to the final, powerful takeaway here. It's this incredible, humbling reminder of just how fragile our place in the universe really is. The cosmos doesn't need some giant asteroid or a big alien invasion to destroy us. All it really has to do is let go.